What if I told you that right now, hundreds of millions of children are being funneled into a virtual sweatshop disguised as entertainment, a place where they're simultaneously the consumer, the product, and sometimes even the unpaid labor? Welcome to Roblox, the metaverse your kids are disappearing into while their developing brains get rewired for endless consumption. You think your child is just playing games. How cute. What they're actually doing is participating in the largest unregulated psychological experiment in human history. A platform that's not a game at all, but rather a massive, loosely moderated marketplace of mostly low-quality experiences designed with one primary goal: extracting money from children. The genius of Roblox isn't technological innovation. It's the industrial-scale manipulation of child psychology. Strip away the blocky characters and colorful interfaces, and what you're left with is a finely tuned machine built to separate kids from their parents' money while collecting their data and attention along the way. Let's get one thing straight. Roblox isn't a game, it's a platform, a digital shopping mall filled with tens of millions of hastily constructed storefronts, each competing to capture your child's attention and wallet. Most of these games aren't designed to develop skills or even provide meaningful entertainment. They're designed to create dependency loops that keep kids coming back while encouraging them to spend on virtual garbage that costs literally nothing to produce. Want to see the fucking cynicism laid bare? Look at their own business model. Roblox doesn't even create the content that hooks your kids. They've outsourced that to a massive army of developers, many of them children themselves, who work for the digital equivalent of pennies on the dollar. They've created a system where children program the psychological traps that capture other children. That's not innovation, that's exploitation squared. The stats are staggering. Hundreds of millions of monthly active users, most under 16 years old, over 40 million experiences. But here's what they don't advertise in their slick investor presentations: the condo games featuring simulated sex acts, the persistent predator problem, the gambling mechanics, the financial exploitation, the data collection, the addictive design, the regulatory investigations, the lawsuits alleging everything from securities fraud to literally facilitating child sexual exploitation. But hey, at least your kid has a cool virtual hat, right? Let's break down exactly how this virtual daycare is rotting your child's brain, starting with the content itself. The promise of Roblox is creativity and imagination, a digital Lego set where anything is possible. The reality? A cesspool of copycat games, scams, and inappropriate content that persistently evades their moderation systems. Worried about what your kid is seeing on TikTok? At least TikTok doesn't feature condo games. Roblox's special brand of user-created rooms explicitly designed for virtual sex acts between avatars. Despite Roblox's claims of robust moderation, these spaces continually emerge and disappear like digital cockroaches, impossible to fully exterminate because the platform's very design makes comprehensive moderation impossible. Beyond the explicitly sexual content, there's the ubiquitous presence of horror games filled with jump scares, games simulating graphic violence, depression rooms focused on self-harm and suicide, and communication channels where hate speech and harassment flourish despite supposed chat filters. A Bloomberg investigation literally described Roblox as an X-rated pedophile hellscape. Let that sink in. This is what you're handing your 8-year-old an iPad to play with while you make dinner. But let's talk about the real genius of Roblox, its monetization system. At the heart of it all is Robux, their virtual currency that children purchase with real money. This currency conversion creates what psychologists call a money illusion, a cognitive disconnect that makes spending feel less real. It's the same trick casinos use with chips, except this casino is marketed directly to elementary school children. Your kid isn't buying a virtual hat for $5. They're spending 400 Robux, a completely made-up number with no inherent value reference. See the difference? One feels like spending money, the other feels like playing a game. And what are they spending this fake money on? Virtual status symbols, limited time items designed to trigger FOMO, game passes that gate basic functionality and literal gambling mechanics through loot boxes and gacha systems where they pay real money for randomized rewards. When children themselves describe your business model as literally just child gambling, maybe it's time to rethink your fucking approach. Parents routinely discover hundreds or thousands of dollars charged to their credit cards. One study from the University of Sydney found children consistently described Roblox transactions as confusing, misleading, and even scary. These aren't bugs, they're features. The entire system is designed to confuse kids about real-world value while encouraging impulsive purchases. The platform thrives on social pressure too. In the digital hallways of Roblox, your avatar's appearance and accessories function as status symbols. Can't afford the limiteds? Too bad, kid. Enjoy being visibly poor in the metaverse too. What's particularly insidious about all this is how Roblox has positioned itself as educational. They've successfully marketed themselves to parents and schools as a platform that teaches coding and creativity. And sure, there's some truth there. Some kids do learn rudimentary coding through Roblox Studio. But let's be real, for every child learning actual skills, thousands more are mindlessly clicking through addiction loops in simulators designed to do nothing but waste time and extract money. The educational veneer is just that, a thin coating of respectability painted over what is fundamentally a monetization platform targeted at children. If you think I'm being harsh, consider this. Roblox is currently being investigated by the FTC. They're facing multiple lawsuits alleging everything from securities fraud to facilitating the sexual exploitation of minors. A class action lawsuit filed this year explicitly accuses them of profiting from addictive design features and child labor. This isn't just angry parents or media panic. These are serious legal allegations from attorneys and regulatory bodies who have examined the evidence and found it disturbing enough to take action. The safety problems on Roblox are so persistent and well documented that they can't be dismissed as isolated incidents or moral panic. The platform's enormous scale, tens of millions of user-created experiences and hundreds of millions of users, makes comprehensive moderation effectively impossible. This leads to a disturbing reality. Roblox knows it cannot effectively ensure child safety across its entire platform, yet continues to market itself primarily to children. The business model depends on it. Let's talk about the psychological impact, because that's what you're really selling when you hand your kid that iPad with Roblox on it. Extended use of platforms like Roblox can significantly impact attention spans, particularly through what researchers call normative dissociation, that zombie-like state where kids become completely absorbed, losing track of time and their surroundings. Parents report children becoming irritable, angry, and even aggressive when asked to stop playing. The social skills developed in Roblox aren't the ones you want your kids learning either. The platform rewards impulsive behavior, materialistic values, and status based on spending. The communication norms often include toxicity, exclusion, and in many cases, straight-up bullying. Real-world social skills atrophy, while kids learn to navigate a digital economy where their value is determined by how much they, or more accurately, you, spend. And let's not forget the YouTube ecosystem built around Roblox, an entire parallel universe of content creators making videos that further cement these values. Channels with millions of subscribers pump out mind-numbing content with titles like How to Get Free Robux and Spending 10,000 Robux on My Avatar. These creators, many barely out of childhood themselves, have become the digital babysitters for a generation of kids. Their business model? Keep your child's eyeballs glued to the screen while they absorb the message that status, happiness, and belonging come from spending more on virtual goods. It's a bullshit cycle of consumption that trains kids to become ideal consumers before they've even lost all their baby teeth. Even more disturbing is how Roblox exploits young developers. The company has masterfully created a system where children and teens develop content for other children, taking a massive cut of all revenue in the process. They advertise success stories of teen millionaires who've made it big on the platform, but the reality for most young developers is very different. The vast majority will never make enough to cash out at all, and even successful developers effectively receive pennies on the dollar after Roblox takes its share and devalues their earnings through the exchange rate. It's a digital company town where the company controls the currency, the marketplace, the advertising, and sets all the rules. The parallels to industrial-era exploitation aren't subtle, they're structural. The most cynical part? Roblox knows exactly what it's doing. Internal documents and former employees have revealed that growth and engagement metrics routinely trump safety concerns. When faced with clear evidence of harm to children, the company's response has often been slow, reactive, and prioritizing public relations over substantive change. Compare that to how quickly they roll out new monetization features targeting kids, and their priorities become crystal clear. So what's the solution? Am I saying Roblox should be banned? That would be the easy answer, but it's not realistic. Millions of kids are already deeply immersed in this ecosystem. What I am saying is that parents, educators, regulators, and yes, Roblox itself, need to reckon with what this platform actually is, rather than what its marketing claims it to be. Parents, understand that Roblox isn't just a harmless game, it's a complex digital economy designed to extract money through psychological manipulation. Monitor what your kids play, use parental controls, and have regular conversations about the monetization tactics they encounter. Educators, if you're using Roblox in educational settings, be extremely selective about which experiences you incorporate, and use them to teach critical thinking about digital economies and manipulation tactics, not just coding. Regulators, it's long past time for meaningful regulation of platforms that target children with exploitative monetization. The gambling mechanics, the data collection practices, and the safety failures all demand regulatory attention. And Roblox, you've built a platform with genuine creative potential, but your business model is fundamentally exploitative of children. That needs to change, and not just through superficial safety features that don't address the core issues. The digital landscape our children navigate is shaping their cognitive development, their values, and their understanding of the world. When we hand kids over to platforms designed primarily to extract profit, we're making a choice about what kind of minds and values we're cultivating. Look, I get it. Roblox isn't going away, but we can demand better for our kids, for developers, and for the digital future we're building. The question isn't whether your child will engage with digital platforms. The question is whether those platforms will respect their developing minds and prioritize their well-being over profit. Right now, Roblox fails that test spectacularly. And every time we hand a child an iPad without understanding what they're really being exposed to, we're complicit in that failure. Your child's mind is the last free zone. Think carefully about who you're allowing to colonize it.